What's up, everybody? I'm doing this until either Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and I'm still moving, either Stephen Wonderboy Thompson or I find a better intro. Welcome to the Funk Report, welcome to MMA Monday, welcome to the only MMA podcast not sponsored by Manscaped or Blue Chew or both. Again, lots of things happening in the MMA world while I'm moving my notes over here. Lots of things happening in the MMA world. As of late, we had one championship, we had UFC, and we have upcoming UFC and Bellator events. So let's just jump right into it and talk about it. What happened this past week in MMA? Well, and of course, we have to start with UFC 262. We have a new lightweight king. Yes, and what a fight it was. Charlie Olives proved the haters wrong, the doubters wrong, proved Uncle Chael wrong. Charlie Olives pulls off the victory. The comeback, the upset, it's not really an upset, but based on what happened at the end of the first round, maybe kind of, right? So amazing fight, of course. Charles Oliveira comes out the way we expect him to come out. Chandler comes out the way we expected him to come out. And we saw a fight, the first round, that we kind of expected. Especially the first 2.5, 3 minutes. The last minute and a half or so, it was all Chandler, of course, and we thought, oh, maybe that's it. But credits to the ref, he didn't stop, where other refs might have stopped it. And so we had the second round. We had 19 seconds of the second round where all it took was just a few super clean, perfectly timed shots by Charles Oliveira to become the new lightweight world champion. Champion number one after Khabib Nurmagomedov. Charles Oliveira, well, if there's one fighter out there where you can say, hey, this guy deserved it, it's Charles Oliveira, right? And his celebration made me really happy when he realized he did it, jumped over the cage, still blood on his glove or wherever, and he even get Dana some blood on the forehead or something, celebrating with Joe Rogan, with everybody in the arena. That was pretty cool. So Charles Oliveira, fantastic job, well done, congratulations. Michael Chandler also very humble in defeat and said, I'm going to be back within 12 months, I'll be champion. But said all props to Charles Oliveira on this night. So, yeah, all good here. Fantastic. And as I said, of course, Charles Oliveira had to win because Chael Sonnen picked Michael Chandler. Brendan Shaw picked Michael Chandler. Ariel Helwani probably picked Michael Chandler. So that's why Charles Oliveira won and, of course, deserved to win. And who picked Charles Oliveira last week? Exactly. Charles, you're welcome. Training with llamas simply has to give you this winner attitude, right? Co-main event, and the best thing about the co-main event was the press conference before the co-main event, of course, the day before, when Tony Ferguson dropped the line towards Michael Chandler, you ducked me, you just get the title shot because you got Dana White privilege. Hilarious line by Tony Ferguson. Even Dana had to laugh out loud. Fantastic. The fight itself was not fantastic. It was an ass whooping. Kinda. I mean, it was a UD. It was a clear UD. It was just a wrestling slash jits, more wrestling demonstration by Beneil Dariush. Took Tony down, kept him on the ground for, I guess 13 out of those 15 minutes. That was sad to see that Tony didn't have any answer for Dariush here. Hey, maybe it's not Tony time anymore. Congrats, Dariush. I mean, he did what he had to do, of course. The coolest thing in this fight was when Tony walked out, the pop that he got from the crowd was insane. The crowd went nuts for Tony Ferguson. Booed Dariush, but I mean, that's just because he fought like the fan favorite. But yeah, Tony. In another match, we saw Rogerio Bontorin versus Matt Schnell. And me being German and knowing that Schnell in German means fast, have to say he wasn't Schnell. That's why Germans aren't comedians. Well, it was a UD for Bontorin. And there was one of those. That was not the worst score, but one was like, I think 30-27. I didn't see the 30-27. 29-28. I'm on board with this. The 30-27. I did not necessarily, but it was okay. It was not bad. Bontorin won, so let's say at least the judging here didn't take anything away from it. What was a bit weird was then the judging or the scoring in the fight between Caitlin Chukagian and Viviane Araújo. So Araújo came out guns blasting, as you would expect her, as you know her. She got tired then because she was holding on to like a joke in this, was it the end of the first round, I believe, or second round, end of the first round maybe, where you thought, oh, maybe she got Chukagian there, but Chukagian survived. And then she was really tired. Like Araújo was really gassed. I think it was like in the second round and like middle of the second round or something. And then Chukagian took over and just like with volume punches. That's what the commentators called it. And so she won 29-28, 29-28. Okay, yeah, I get on board with this. 30-27 is ridiculous because Araújo clearly took round one. So that was the scoring ridiculous. But the right winner. No discussion in the fight of the night. Edson Barboza versus Shane Burgos. We knew it would be the fight of the night. Everyone was like, okay, we have to watch this because this is going to be the show stealer. And it was. Like, Edson Barboza looked insane. Like, dude, first of all, he's shredded AF. But then his movement so slick, so fast. You thought like Shane Burgos, like with his boxing, right? He would be able to land, but like, I mean, he did land, but still Barboza was like moving really well. Like also his upper body, his head movement was pretty good. And the slip and slide, I don't know if it's the right term, but he slipped out and then always gave Burgos the one on the way. That was good. But then in the beginning, he went all for the legs. It was crazy. You thought like he's going to kill Burgos with those leg kicks. But then Burgos came back. He was moving forward and then throwing some calf kicks by himself. That was really cool. So that was a really good fight back and forth. And then in the third round, at like 1 minute something or so, then Barboza connected with like, was it left and then a right? And then Burgos just stumbles back a little, and then all of a sudden he really moves backwards, and see his eyes gone, and then he falls down. Like it was really delayed, like really delayed, like a few seconds, and then it was all over. Who says this usually? It was all over. I saw some explanations on social media and on YouTube. Also, some doctors explained like how this works with the brain and so on. Afterwards, Burgos was like up already and he's like shaking hands saying, I'm good, no problem. So glad that nothing bad happened there. Edson Barboza with like, of course, spinning back kicks in between and wheel kicks and whatnot. Doing Barboza stuff. Cool that he won. He says in his mind he's 3-0. In my mind too, even though he officially lost one, but at 145. But he seems to be a force to be reckoned with. So Edson Barboza, I'm all in. That's awesome. Yeah, cool, good job. That was a fun fight. Just a few fights from the prelims. Andre Muniz breaking Chakar Sousa's arm. That did not look good, and it's really sad to see that Chakare succumbs to an armbar. Lando Venata versus Mike Grundy, split decision 29-28, 27-30, 30-27. What? Again, 29-28, okay. 27-30 and 30-27. What? Oh my god. Yeah, seriously, the scoring there, ridiculous. And then we also had Andrea Lee defeating Antonina Shevchenko, the older sister of Valentina Shevchenko. Now Andrea Lee has a target on her back. Via a triangle armbar, actually, only the third or fourth or whatever in UFC history. So congratulations to Andrea Lee. She was really happy afterwards, obviously, if you beat Peter Shevchenko. Well done. That was a great event. UFC 262 was awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. I should have paid for it. I'm kidding. Dana, don't hunt me down. Great fights. Totally delivered, except the scoring. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next one. That was awesome. That was really good. In the wake of this event, of course, then at the press conference, they asked Dana about John Jones. He says he can fight, doesn't have to. I don't care. Derek Lewis was also there. He crashed the press conference of Lando Venata. I was like, that's my city. Let me talk to the people. That was kind of funny. He says, well, he doesn't need the 30 or 50 minute that Jones wants. He's like, I'm not a greedy person. I can do it for 8. And then MMAfighting.com goes with like, Lewis wants 8 million for the fight. He was jokingly saying at the press conference, I can do it for 8. I'm not a greedy person. He was clearly joking. And MMA Fighting goes like, Lewis wants 8 million. Great journalism. That's why I totally don't pay for you guys, seriously. Charles Oliveira is now already an underdog, no matter who he's going to fight, Dustin Poirier or Conor McGregor in his next match. He says, because apparently McGregor was tweeting like, congratulations to the 11th champ. I wonder who the 12th lightweight champ will be, ... And Oliveira responded and said, like, just try to beat Dustin and then afterwards come to Brazil and I'm going to sit your ass down. Nice, I like it. What else did we have? Michael Chandler said, yeah, congrats to Charlie Olives about within 12 months, I'll be back and I will be the champ. Yeah, I mean, there's no one's talking about Justin Gaethje right now. There's still Justin Gaethje out there, and he's training with all those monsters. He's training with Benil Dariush, right? He's in there. He's training with Usman and with Rose. So don't forget Justin Gaethje, people. He's not loud and stuff, but I'm assuming that he's getting ready and getting better and better and better and better. They also asked Dana about like Triller and if they ever want to work with Triller. And he's just like, it's an effing joke and I don't give a F about you and don't effing call me again. And like, okay. So Dana White and Triller, probably not. Dana also said like he thinks maybe slowly Father Time is catching up on Tony on all the battles that he had. And but of course he didn't call for retirement or anything. Just yet. So that was a fun week of MMA, capped off with an awesome event in Houston, Texas. That was great. We also had one championship the day before, or like actually here was, it was the day before. One championship, one Dangal, featuring lots of Indian fighters. That was the theme. In the main event, we had Singh Achambola defeating Brandon the Truth Vera. None of them looked really in shape. Okay, they're heavyweights, I know, but still. And then Achambola with this mace, this Indian mace thing, but it just looks really stupid because it's obviously fake. I mean, it looks like I don't know, a baby could play with it. So it's just too cheesy, man. It's too cheesy. And then he wins the heavyweight championship, and then he's like, "Hey, WWE, AW, I'm coming for you." So you don't want to be in one championship. Okay, cool. Brandon Vera did not look good at all in this one. Neither did Achambola. Brandon Vera did not look good at this one. The heavyweight division doesn't look good right now in one championship. I'm sorry. Like if you then take, I don't know, others, if you compare it to UFC, for example, when you see like, of course, Ngannou, but if you see Stipe, Lewis, Curtis Blades, you name it. Oh, and then you see this at one championship. It's like, oh, okay, there are levels to this shit. Where you see the best of the best, so is Muay Thai in one championship. We saw the debut for Tavanchai PK Sanchai Muay Thai Yem from Thailand, so just call him Tavanchai. And he's a Muay Thai phenom. He's a very famous, successful Muay Thai fighter. He wins like won lots of big fights and medals and trophies and whatnot. And he defeats Sean Clapper Clancy. That was a nice knockout, like leg kick, like connected to the temple. That was nice. Round 3 knockout. Just like you didn't see it coming. It was just like moving, and that's it. That was really nice. So yeah, you definitely see the best Muay Thai fighters in one championship, or some of the best. And the last fight I want to talk about from one championship was atomweight, MMA women's atomweight. And we had Killer B Nguyen versus Ritu, the Indian Tigress Pogat, and it was kind of like a wrestling, I don't want to say clinic, but like a wrestling beating that Ritu Pogat gave to Killer B, and somehow the judges gave it to Killer B, and I like Killer B. I follow her on Instagram, Killer B. I follow you on Instagram, so I'm all for it. But like, if you would have asked me, I would have given the fight to Ritu Pogat. And everybody else on social media too. The comments on one championship social media were not happy. I mean, Killer B was landing a few shots. It was nice. It was fine, of course. But I mean, they don't score round by round. Right? They score the contest in its entirety. But still, also in its entirety, I would have given it to Ritu Pogat because she was clearly like having most moments. Even though she didn't do much damage when she was dominating, but she was in control. So, but I'm happy for Killer B. I mean, I like her, of course. So all good. Let's see what's next there. Speaking of what's next, let's preview quickly what's happening next week. We have another UFC Fight Night coming at us, and in this Fight Night, one of the earlier fights is going to be the Joker, Jack Hermansson versus Edmen Shahbazyan. Edmen Shahbazyan back after his first loss to Derek Brunson back then, like was it over a year ago now or so. And Jack Hermansson also now trying to rebound from his last loss, and then he had to drop out of the fight, right? So let's see where this goes. Not a must win for both, but a should win for both to just get back on track. Shahbazyan had like this hype train behind him. It's a bit derailed right now. Hermansson was on the way to fighting for a championship, also derailed right now. So who's getting back on track first? Yes, to be honest, I mean, even though Shahbazyan had like this long winning streak, I haven't seen much that impressed me a lot, to be quite frank. Jack Hermansson has this weird style. It also doesn't look super impressive, but he pulled off a few victories where you think, okay, cool, respect. So I think Hermansson probably regrouped and maybe has the right game plan here. So I'm picking Jack Hermansson to get this done. The co-main event is going to be Jan versus Esparza, and yeah, I mean, I just realized the other day that Carla Esparza has been around forever, and she's now again somehow in the title picture. So heads off, congratulations to her. So if she can pull it off, then she's right back in there. Respect. I'm not sure if she can, though, to be honest. I'm wishing her all the best because she's an OG in the game. So fingers crossed here. But I think Jan gets it done. And the main event is two heavy-handed guys fighting: Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt. Cody no love Garbrandt, Rob Font. I mean, we haven't seen Cody in a while since his last losses, I think. Oh, no, he had this walk-off knockout on the same day that Sugar Sean O'Malley did that, right? And then afterward, I'm not sure. But Rob Font had this great outing. In a losing effort, I believe, right? But still a great outing. He's got some really heavy hands. I mean, so does Cody Garbrandt. But it seems to be the time for Rob Font right now. So I'm guessing Rob Font gets this one done. But hey, that's not all that's going to happen now. This week we also have Bellator happening. And don't worry, I'm not going through the whole Bellator card because, quite frankly, I don't know them all. But who I know is Darren Caldwell is back on the card versus Leandro Higo. Leandro Higo looks very arrogant on his picture. Darren Caldwell, like this, like looking up, like, yeah, man. Darren Caldwell looks like very determined, like when you're looking slightly down. That's the pictures on Bellator.com. So based on those pictures, I'm going for Darren Caldwell also because I've seen Darren Caldwell before. I haven't seen Leandro Higo before. Sounds like a very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, though. Who I've seen before is Austin Vanderford. Mr. Page Van Zandt is back in action versus Fabian Edwards. Yeah, I'm just looking at the record. Austin Vanderford is 10-0. Fabian Edwards is 9-1. So that's really evenly matched. Height advantage for Fabian Edwards. Weight, obviously the same. Country, USA versus UK. So now you know all the facts that Bellator gives us. I've never really been that impressed with Austin Vanderford, but he always found a way to pull the victory, like to somehow get the victory, right? I mean, yes, he had some impressive ones, but like not like, oh yeah, ooh. Fabian Edwards, I'm struggling remembering the last time I watched him, but Edwards, right? Sound in every aspect, probably. I'm assuming Austin Vanderford would get that done, but because he somehow always finds a win finds a way to win. Plus, if you have PVC at home saying like if you don't win, you don't get any action, that's probably extra motivation right there. So yeah, Austin Vanderford for the win. And then the main event, Chris Cyborg back in action. Hey, they found someone for Chris Cyborg that Chris Cyborg can play with. And she's going to play with Leslie Smith again. Yeah, record for Chris Cyborg 23-2. Record for Leslie Smith 12-8-1. Slight height advantage for Leslie Smith actually. I didn't realize it last time around. But yeah, Chris Cyborg by whatever she wants to do, I guess. Let's see. I mean, she hasn't been in action for a while, so maybe she's, no offense, Chris Cyborg, also getting older. So let's just see about this. But in theory, this should be the match for Chris Cyborg, of course. All right, that's about it for the previews for this next week in MMA. There's no one championship event this coming week. It's going to be the week after. So then we're going to break this down again. So that's it for today, for this time around. Let me know how you liked UFC 262. Let me know how much you disliked one championship dangle. I'm sorry, one championship. Liked Muay Thai in one championship, of course. Tawancha was awesome. The rest, yeah. What do you think about the upcoming fights? Rob Font, Cody Nolov, Chris Cyborg, Leslie Smith. Let me know what you think. Shout out, social media, comments, via email, funkitpod@gmail.com. Thanks for this already. Until then, stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.